Hey everybody, Mike here from the Focused Garage. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to go from the stock taillight with the huge floppy pumpkin signals to the Blaster X taillight from Custom LED. Now, before I go ahead and jump into this video and show you how to do it, I do want to show you guys a quick comparison of what this setup looks like compared to the aftermarket one when it's installed. And I want to kind of touch on the reasons why I purchased this unit as compared to a lot of the other ones on the market. Like I said in my last turn signal video, something that's very important to me is visibility, and this taillight should actually be brighter than the stock unit here. As you can see, it shares a very, very close look with it. But on top of that, it's going to have the integrated turn signal into it, so that way we can remove these from the bike. These are very large, unsightly, and pretty much old looking, so it kind of hampers on the whole look of the bike. But with this Blaster X unit, it's going to be a beautiful taillight with very crisp and bright light output. It's adjustable if you get their adjustable kind of control. It'll strobe when you press the brakes to make you more visible, and the signals are extremely bright. This is advertised as truly plug and play to make this installation as simple as possible for you. So like I said, we're going to start right now, show you what all this looks like when it's lit up, and then we'll go ahead and flip to the Blaster X setup, show you what all that looks like when it's lit up. And then we'll go ahead and kind of give you a brief overview of installation, kind of any tips and tricks or snags that I may find myself getting caught up on there. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and flip on the accessory power on the bike, show you what the stock taillight looks like when it's lit up, and what it looks like with the signals. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So as you can see here, we've got the running light on with the hazards. I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes for you here. There's your brake light. We'll turn the hazards off for you here. There's the brake light one more time. There's your one signal. And there's your other signal. Very, very self-explanatory. That's what you got. So we'll go ahead, flip to the installed version here, and show you the differences. Now, we've got the Blaster X taillight installed, and I want to show you what this looks like while it's functioning. So, we'll flip the bike on, and right away you can see it's got a sweet little pre-ignition sequence there. Here's what it's going to go ahead and look like with the hazards on. So you can see it turns off the brake lights completely and puts the signal on so that way you can totally see it, no bleeding of colors in between. Turn that off, goes back right there. Go ahead and flip the left signal on. Again, you can see it turns off that section of the taillight and changes to just the signal. Now if you brake with a signal on, you can see there, you can very much distinctly tell the difference. But one of the neatest parts about this is when you're riding, you go ahead and hit the brake, boom. You've got a quick strobe letting you know, hey, this dude's slowing down, back off. And same thing, if you're riding, got your blinker on here, that's what the right-hand side looks like. It's very easy to tell. You don't get the bleeding out of colors that you get with a lot of these integrated taillights. And it is also neat too, when you turn off the signal, it stays for a second, almost like a car with LED DRLs. It transitions in between there so you can see the difference. So again, brake, you got the hazards. You can still hit the brakes with the hazards too, which again is nice. You don't see a lot of the cheap signals. Flip them off, you got that in between there. And then again, you've got left and you've got right. Now I hope the camera's doing a good job of picking up just how much brighter this is. Again, rather than having the two little strips for DRLs, you have the whole tail light as a DRL in this piece. And you go ahead and hit there, and it's very, very bright. You've got that strobing effect to grab your attention that, hey, again, I'm slowing down. So that's the comparison between stock to the Blaster X unit. I just kind of wanted to zoom in and give you a better look of what this taillight looks like up close. One more time here. Just so we can really show you how beautiful of a unit it is and what that looks like. Again, pulling the brake light. Signal on while braking, signal off, hazards while braking, And yeah, we'll break one more time for you here just because I love how it looks. And that's it. If you do have further requests on what you want the light to, demonstrate, let me know. I'll go ahead and grab a clip of that for you. Alright, so you've seen the stock taillight, you've seen the Blaster X taillight. Now, you want to know how it goes on the bike. This isn't going to be a full step-by-step installation just because it's not that difficult, and by the time it would take me to, edit it and go through all of it, you could have already done it by now. So I'm going to show you step-by-step what I did, but it's not going to obviously be all filmed. If there is enough interest in the comments below, please let me know, and I can take this all apart and show you how to install it. I'm actually going to have to take it all apart again just because I didn't get the closeout pieces, so we're stuck with these stupid-looking things underneath. I'll explain why that is in a second. Obviously, it's still nowhere near as big as the pumpkins, but I need to get another piece to fully get rid of these. The only company I know that sells these closeout pieces underneath where the holes would be is TST Industries, but they are $55. The other way around that is I would have to just get a 10mm nut to replace this weird little capped nut in there, but we'll cover that when we get to that. So, to go ahead and remove what you need to take off in order to swap the taillight, you're going to go ahead and see that we've got 3 of these 4mm Allen bolts on each side. You only need to take out this one and this one. So you're going to have the frontmost and the rearmost ones. Leave this center one alone. So pull out the front one on both sides and the rear ones on both sides. Take those to the side. And underneath the taillight here, you're going to have your signature Yamaha push pins. So we've got 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3, and then a sneaky little 4th one over here. Bam. On this side. So we've got 7 total, 3 on that side, 4 on that side. Pull all those push pins out. Once that's loose, you'll see that this piece can come off the taillight. There's a little locating tab here, as well as 2 little tabs underneath the taillight right here. So what you'll do is you'll take this, pull this up and around the taillight on each side. That's going to have pretty much this tail section loose, as well as this undertail section loose here. You've got a bracket right here. This is for the seat lock mechanism. You can see we've got that right there. There's 2 bolts on each side, 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2. They are 8mm bolts. So you go ahead and remove those. Take this bracket out of the way. Underneath that bracket, you are going to see some more pieces here. We've got 2 more 4mm Allen screws that hold this taillight to the motorcycle. So you want to go ahead and take those out. And then for your favorite piece, the ugly signal holder, you've got a 10mm nut on top with 10mm bolt on the bottom. So you'll need a wrench on the underside of this, which is very, very easy because this undertail piece just pulls simply right off. So you'll pull this undertail piece off. Keep a wrench on the underside of this while you've got a 10mm socket on top. You're going to pull these 4 out. So I'm standing at the rear of the motorcycle here looking forwards. You've got 1, and then the other one you'll obviously see when you remove the bracket is 2 right there. So there you go. You got a pretty good view of it. You got 1, 2 right there, and then you got the 1 right there, and there's another one tucked up underneath in there. You can see. So those will come off. That will allow you to remove the entire turn signal stock. The only reason I have this on right now, rather than having the empty holes where the closeout pieces would go, or just, obviously having the signals on, is because in order to mount this taillight bracket back onto the motorcycle here, these 2 bolts, 1, 2, where my finger and my thumb are, need something to pull onto. The problem with that is the factory Yamaha nuts here have a cap on them. So without the spacer piece for the signals underneath, this is too small to let the screw come through on the other side, the bolt. So what I need to do is just get an open-ended nut, 2 of them, and I can go ahead and ditch all of this and either fabricate my own closeouts or leave them open, use electrical tape, something, because obviously you can see the rear of the motorcycle is totally cleaned up. You have no more signals, but this looks almost worse than having open holes. So that's of no fault of Blaster X. They make you very aware of that this piece does not come with the rear closeout pieces. You're obviously going to need to figure out that yourself. So you can buy the TST pieces, or you can go the route that I'm going to do and probably just buy 2 cheap nuts from Home Depot and fabricate something myself to cover up those holes. But again, this is just reinstalled temporarily so that way all the brackets still have something to attach to, because these do hold pieces of the tail section together. Without those there, you won't be able to put the bolts on all the way fully. But that's my little 2 cents on that. Regardless though, The fitment of this is absolutely amazing. It fits just as good as the stock piece, possibly even better, as you can see right through there. It is truly plug and play, just like they say. You've got the one plug for the taillight here, and then your plug for the signals are right in this little harness here. This is just Velcro. You undo that, and then you've got the signals that clip in together here. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Like I said, everything goes together very, very well. Now that I've done this once, I could probably do this again very, very quickly. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to because we still have these little guys here, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Maybe I'll bite the bullet and buy the TST pieces for the $55 or so that they are, but obviously that doesn't look so bad. And what I've even seen some people do, which isn't a terrible option, is you can cut these right around there. So I can take these off, get a little hacksaw or a Dremel tool and cut this off, and that way I ditch the entire stock. I don't like cutting up factory pieces though. I'll probably either buy the closeouts or just get a nut and leave the holes open, just because, you know, it's not a complete taillight without those removed. That's kind of the whole point for me of the integrated taillight there. But as you can see from the video, this thing looks absolutely amazing. It is brighter than stock. The strobing part makes it very, very visible, and the fitment is absolutely amazing. The only thing I do want to mention is if you do not want to have hyper flash, you do need to get a LED flasher relay. I've got one from TST Industries here, but you could buy them on Amazon or from anywhere that you please. They simply just swap out right here, and that gives you the ability to have the bike not hyper flash when you have LED signals like me in the front and of the rear of the motorcycle now. So that's pretty much where I'm at with the whole signal section of the motorcycle. We've got, you know, the front lights taken care of, the rear lights taken care of, and we just have to ditch the frickin' pumpkin holders, but we've got no more pumpkins right there. They are on the ground and we are over them. So that's not so bad. Let me know in the comments down below if you do have any questions or if you do want me to go through and film the rest of this, you know, taking everything apart step by step, because chances are I'm not going to keep that for long. I will have to go through, take it all apart again, and show you what all of that looks like, just because that's going to drive me absolutely crazy. However, I am so thrilled with this taillight. If anybody is thinking of an integrated taillight for your MT-09 or FZ-09 2017 and up, please be sure to check out Custom LED with their Blaster X taillight. This piece is top notch. I like it so much more than the TST Industries piece and all of those cheapo ones on Amazon and eBay, and you really do get what you pay for. This piece is a little bit more expensive than most of the ones out there, but what you get for the money is so worth it. I mean, obviously it looks fantastic, it's visible, it's so bright, and I don't anticipate there being any issues with this. And it's plug and play. There's no splicing your harnesses, no extending the harnesses, nothing like that. Take out your factory stuff, plug this in, and you are good to go. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. If you do have any questions, drop them down in the comments down below. This is Mike from the Focus Garage, and we've got our Blaster X taillight ready to rip. I will catch you guys in the next video. I thought of one last thing before everybody gets mad at me when they're installing these themselves. In addition to the 2 bolts that you've got up top on the taillight here that hold it to the bracket, you've got 2 other bolts underneath here. They're going to be 4mm Allens. When you pull off all the shrouding, you'll see them underneath. There's going to be one here on the bottom right-hand side and another on the bottom left-hand side. Sorry about that. I hope you stuck with me until the end of the video if you really did need to know that information. Again, don't forget there's 2 more bolts in addition to the ones on top that hold this taillight to the motorcycle. There's one on the bottom right here under the shrouding and one on the bottom left there. That'll be everything you need in order to remove the taillight after you unplug it.